Good evening, everybody. Today we talk about the sutta that we was chanting. We talked about this already before, but I try to explain it again. And sometimes we talk in different directions. This is the sutta called Anatta-lakkhaṇa-sutta, which is the meaning is the characteristics um, of the non-self. Okay, the sutta about the talk or the discourse on the characteristics of non-self. This is from the Samayutta Nikaya 22.59. Okay, in our book, in the chanting, our chanting book, it's in the page 69, in the bracket 47. Okay. Actually, this is normally people, when they know it, they will say that this is the second sutta that the people give. But actually, the first sutta that the Buddha give, it's the Dhammatalk. This is also we was chanting today. Normally in the Buddha day we are chanting. This is the Dhammatalk. It's turning the wheels of Dhamma. This is the first teaching what the Buddha give to the 5 ascetic that used to be his friend before they became the first ascetic, students for him. And this was in the, I'll show you one moment. I will make a share screen. Yeah, you see the map, okay? So I'll make it a little bit bigger. You see Saranath. You can see Saranath. This is India, okay? This is Nepal. This is Lumbini, Nepal. Kapalavistu, this is the place where the house of Buddha. This is Lumbini. This is Gaya, Bodh Gaya. Okay, and this is Saranath, Varanasi. Varanasi actually is very big. Saranath is very small, but here they show in this way because it's something important for the Buddhists. So that's why they put it in big and red color. Okay, so our story is here in this place. Varanasi, in our sutta, it's Varanasiyang. You see Varanasiyang. And this is Saranath. This is the place, the area, the village, let's say, where okay, today it's a small town. So this is our story, it's here, going here. The Buddha get enlightened in Bodh Gaya. I talked about this last time already. And then after he get in Bodh Gaya enlightened, he stayed there about 7 weeks. And then 1 week he went all the way and he meet his 5 students. So he give them the first, in the full moon of Asalaha, on the 8th month of the year, he give them the turning the wheels of Dhamma, Dhammachak. So this was actually the first ceremony that he did to the human being and angel. And then I just stop sharing so I can talk to you. Okay, so now you recognize the area. Anyway, normally people will say that the Buddha give the second lecture that the Buddha give, it's the Anatta-lakkhaṇa-sutta, but actually the Buddha didn't give the second sutta. It's not Anatta-lakkhaṇa-sutta. The second sutta that the Buddha give, it was to the angels. Because it was what happened, there is a story that in the time before when the Buddha come to give the Dhammachak, the turning the wheels of Dhamma, so the angels, they knew about this. So the angels, they are living long time. They are living long time. Sometimes they are living in the process between Buddha to the one Buddha to another Buddha because they have their astralic body. So they don't depend on the earth. It doesn't matter what is going here. They are the angels, they don't depend on this. So people die, there is a birth of people, animals, and the angels still living. They are living long time. And sometimes, because they are good, that's why they became angels. And then they know about the Buddha. Some of them, they know about the Buddha, and they wait for the time when new Buddha is coming. And they knew, Buddha came and is going to give Dhammachak. So in the time when Buddha come to bring the Dhammachak, to teach the Dhammachak to these 5 students. Okay, so it was one angel that his name was Amavata. And Amavata, he knew Buddha is going to give the lecture. And he have another friend, also angels. His name was Satagiri. So Amavata, he want to call to Satagiri to tell him, oh, the Buddha is going to turn the woods of Dhamma. Please, we are waiting for this so long time. And now the Buddha came to be in the world. Now both of them, they know the characteristics of Buddha. They are good. And Amavata, he want really to take Satagiri with them to listen to the Dhammachak. So he go to the Satagiri and start to talk to Satagiri. He said to him, oh, the Buddha come to the earth, he's going to give them the Dhammachak. And they starting to make conversation because Satagiri asked him, who is this Buddha? It's really Buddha? And then he start to ask him, he have virtue, he have concentration, he start to ask Amavata. So during the time that they start to talk, the Buddha already give the Dhammachak. So they miss the Dhammachak actually. But what is interesting that happened in this talk between the Amavata and the Satagiri, it was nearby Varanasi, okay? And then it was one woman, just ordinary woman, she wanted to do something. She opened the window. I don't know, I cannot remember, to clean something, or just she took out the head from the window and she started to hear the voice between these 2 angels talking. And then she, oh, what is this? It must be angels talking. And she started to listen to this talk. And during the talk, she became Sotapanna. But the Amavata and the Satagiri, they miss both of them, the Dhammachak. So they miss the point to get any beneficial. So when the Dhammachak finished, they decided to take another 1,000 angels with them and to go and to ask the Buddha questions about themselves. Okay, so this is actually will be the second sutta that the Buddha give the second lecture. But in this second lecture, it's called Amavasana Sutta, and the Buddha is teaching angels. Okay, this is the second, but not for human beings, for angels. And after the Buddha finished the Amavata Sutta, give to Satagiri and Amavata, they all became 1,000 angels. They became Sotapanna, all of them, angels. Okay, now what happened is that just this is about this situation. It was all going like this in the, let's say, between, we say in the first watch of the night, something like between let's say 6 to 10 o'clock in the evening, the Buddha was giving the lecture of the Dhammachak. Okay, this was the first turning the wheels of Dhamma to the 5 students. The 5 students, who was the 5 students? Last time I mentioned about who is these 5 students. The eldest from them, his name was Kundanya. Okay, and Kundanya, when the Buddha was just a baby, I think about 7 years old or something like this, they came 8 ascetic, 8 people that come to look what will be with its baby. What is the future for this baby? And 7 of them, they raise up 2 fingers, but Kundanya was the youngest from them, he raised only 1 finger. And the father asked, what is mean 2 fingers? They say, either your son will be a ruler all over the world, either he will be Buddha. And Kundanya was the only one who was sure that he was young, okay? So he was the only one which was sure that the Buddha, actually Siddhartha Gautama, this baby, he will leave home and then he will be ascetic and then he will find enlightenment, he will be the Buddha. So that's why when the Buddha left at 29 years old, the Buddha left home. The time he was not yet Buddha, he was just a bodhisattva. Kundanya joy to him. And all the others, they was old already, they passed away, but they have children. So they told to the children that if the Siddhartha Gautama will leave home, you should joy to him. So that's why these 4 children from all these ascetics, they joined to Kundanya. And then they became 5. The names, I just mentioned for you the names of these 5 students, okay? Okay, so Kundanya was the elder from them, I told you. And then Vapa, it was the next one. And then Badaya, Mahanama, and Asaji. Asaji was the youngest from them. Asaji later became the teacher of Sariputta. This is Asaji. The Sariputta met Asaji in near his hometown, and then he asked Asaji what is the teaching of the teacher and who is the teacher. So Asaji told them that my teacher is the Buddha, and he teach everything is rising and ceasing. So Sariputta became Sotapan because of this. So this is Asaji of this one. So altogether there was 5 friends. Okay, so the Buddha in the very beginning, he give them the turning the wheels of Dhamma, and during this teaching, it was in the full moon, in the first watch, something like between 6 to 10 o'clock at night, in the evening of the full moon of Asalaha. It's been 1 week ago. Okay, I talked about this already 1 week ago. I just remind you. It was full moon of the 8th month. So that time, only Kundanya became Sotapan. The others 4, they didn't got anything yet. They was not ready yet. Okay, but okay. So what happened since then? Every day, the next day they start the rainy season. The rainy season starting immediately 1 day after the full moon of Asalaha. It's mean 1 week ago, yeah. So they was practicing. They was not ready, so the Buddha teach them the vipassana, and they was practicing. So, for example, the few of them they went to 2 of them they go to collect food. The rest they have to practice very intensive. Okay, so day by day, one after the other became Sotapan. So in the first day of the rainy season, the Pansa, the second one became Sotapan. The third, another Sotapan, another Sotapan, another. So we are coming to the 4th day. We have 5 Sotapan. No one enlightened yet, not yet around. Okay, there's 5 Sotapan after 4 days. So just to put where it was the Anatta-lakkhaṇa-sutta, the Anatta-lakkhaṇa-sutta is for the angels. Like I said, for between 6 to 10 o'clock, the Buddha give the turning the wheel of Dhamma in the full moon of Asala. Let's say between 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, this is the second watch, the middle of the night. This is the time when the Buddha teach the angels, the Amavata and Satagiri and other friends of the angels, and they became Sotapan, all of them. So it was in the second night, okay? And the next morning, they start to practice. The Buddha teach the monks. And like this, I say, day by day, everyone became Sotapan, 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 one after the other. So at the 4th day, they already became 5 Sotapan. So what happened in the 5th day? In the 5th day, the Buddha, he gave them the lecture of what we call Anatta-lakkhaṇa-sutta. He explained them the characteristics of the non-self, what we call, okay? I just look if I didn't miss anything and I will continue. Okay, where all these things happen, or this, if we start with the sutta itself, you see at bracket 47, page 69, it's the sutta itself starting, Ewa me sutang. This is what Ananda usually say to the monk, every sutta, every explanation what the Buddha teach, and Ananda introduced it, and he said, this is what I heard, okay? Ewa me sutang, this is what I heard. Ekang Samayang, one time, okay, the Buddha was in Varanasi, okay, nearby Varanasi, okay. Viharati, it means it's a place. It means talking about the deer park. Why talking about deer park? How we know it's a deer park? Because it says isi patane migataye. The word migataye, it means deer park. This is the meaning of the word Migadaye. It means deer park. And what is isi patane? You know the word rishi, rishi. Rishi, it means ascetic, okay? And in Pali we say isi, okay? Isi patane. Patane, it's a land. It means this where they stay in Saranath, okay? And the Buddha give them the teaching. It's called the deer park, which the ascetic people, which the rishi, which the monks, they used to stay. It's the land of the monks. They like to stay there very much. That's why it's called Isipatane, okay? Yeah, Isipatane, it means the rishi land. In Mikadaya, it means the deer park, okay? And all this nearby Varanasi. Actually, it's about 10 kilometers from Varanasi. Varanasi, it's a big city. It was all the time almost big city. Big king used to stay there. Nearby, 10 kilometers from there, it's the place called Saranath. Okay, and all these things happen in the deer park of in Saranath. So, like I said, the Buddha is introducing now. We have the Buddha talking to 5 Sotapans. Why Sotapan? Because the very beginning, Kundanya, just by hearing got it. And then after this, the 5, one by one, they became Sotapans. So now we are coming to the 5th day, the Buddha talking to 5 Sotapans. They are ready already to listen to the Dharma. And what happened in the end of this sutta, they 5 Sotapans, they became 5 Arahants. You see how strong is this sutta? It means people from Sotapan, they turn into Arahant by this Sotapan. I don't know what will be with us, but we are not so clever. Not today. Today, there is no such people like this. Difficult to find people like this. But it's not the only sutta that people became Arahant. You know, there is next sutta, it will be to 1,000 people. This is called Fire Sutta. It will be about 4 months after this, even less than 4 months after this. After the rainy season, the Buddha go to meet their brother, Kassapa brothers, and they was the leaders of 1,000 students, and Buddha give them the fire ceremony, and by this fire ceremony, they was ready. That's why these 1,000 people, they became Arahant. So now we are talking about 5 people became Arahant. In the next sutta, it will be the fire ceremony, another 1,000 people. So all these people, they was very, very prepared to understand the Dharma. Okay, so that's why today there is no such people like this. This quality of people disappear already. There is no such people that they can listen to Dharma, and by hearing Dharma, they will get into any level. Okay, it was the time 1,000 years after the Buddha, still people like this exist. Not today, no. Anyway, how the Buddha starting now? So this is the first part. It's introducing all this story. What I told you, that the Buddha was meeting these 5 bhikkhu, okay, 5 ascetic or students, and now we are going to the second part, and the Buddha is actually explaining to the students. He say explanation. He said the body. First, he's talking about our body. He said our body, the human being body. Okay, it's anatta. And why it's anatta? What is the reason that it's anatta? Why is the reason that it's non-self? He said it's non-self because if it was a self, actually nobody of you want to suffer. Okay, nobody of us want to suffer. So if we can really control it, why we should put ourselves to suffer? Because we cannot really control it. And the idea that we cannot control it, it means we are non-self. It's a non-self. Because it's a self if you already can control it. And I give you an example, okay? I can make a game with you. Maybe I tell you a story, okay? Just a similar story. I'm millionaire, okay? And I have a slave. He's very nice man. This slave is very cute, very nice man. He's very good to me. And I just want to tell you some story about them. That a few days ago, I told to my slave to go shopping, and you know what, to buy something for eating. And you know what he have done? He's so cute. He go to sleep. Come on. No, but he's nice. He's really, really nice slave. And just day after this, I just told them, please clean the dishes. And you know what they have done? He go to play football with his game with his friends. So cute. Yeah. Huh? But he's my slave. It's really my slave. I like him very much. He's good one. Yeah, he's good man. And then yesterday I told him maybe to clean the floor. And you know what he have done? Yeah. And then he go to buy for himself something in the shop. It's so cute. So it's actually politics. What I'm talking about? What is the meaning? I'm calling my slave, but actually he's never obeyed to me. So in the same way, people would ask, so what kind of slave you have? This is not your really slave. He's never obeyed to you. So in the same way, the Buddha says, and actually I don't give my example for myself. I'm talking about one sutta that this is exactly what the Buddha explained to one man. He argued with them. He said, no, the body is a self. So then the Buddha gave him example. They say, you know, this great king, he can control his people. And if they don't do anything, he already punished them. He control the people. And then the Buddha asked him, do you control your body in the same way that this king can control his people or his slaves or whatever? So it means the Buddha say, why it's non-self? Because we cannot really control it. And what the Buddha say, you cannot tell your body to be in this way. Suppose I want to be young, but I cannot tell them don't be young, okay? But in another way, I cannot tell them don't be like this. I cannot say to them, suddenly I became sick, but I don't want to be sick. So I cannot tell them don't be sick. So it means you cannot tell them to be like this and like this. And you cannot tell them not to be like this and like this. You cannot tell them whatever you want. So how can you say this is your slave? How can you say this is your body if you cannot control anything about them? Okay? So in the same way, the Buddha say, and if it's really your body, why you make it all the time suffering? Why it make you so difficulties? Okay? And like this, people, the Buddha, this is the first time things that the Buddha explained to them. He's just explaining. He say, if you can say that the body is my body, it means I can control it. It means on the way that I cannot control it, I can say this is non-self. Okay? So in this way, the Buddha explained about the body. And after the Buddha explained about the body, he continued. In which way he continued? I will explain you. He's talking about 5 aggregates. I want to explain what is the meaning of 5 aggregates. 5 aggregate, it's 5 elements that create the what I call I. It's the same like if again I will play the game with you. I say, I will tell you something and you try to guess what is it. So if I say there is wheels, so some people they say it's a car, some people say it's an airplane, some people they say I don't know whatever, okay? Bicycle. And then I say, okay, I add another thing. I say there is a motor. So now bicycle it cannot be, but it can be maybe motorcycle, or maybe cars, or maybe other things, some maybe airplane. And then I say another element, maybe, I don't know, windshield. So you think, oh, okay, it's maybe cannot be motorcycle because must be some shit around in the front, but maybe airplane and this. And then, so at the end, I say there is a wind. Or so if I will tell you 20 elements, you know this is must be airplane. Maybe the color will not be important. Maybe the size will not be important. But maybe 20 elements creating these airplanes, okay? The airplane. So in the same way, if we talk about me, the I, the human being, it must be 5 elements which must work together. Otherwise, you cannot say it's human being. But there's only these 5. Whatever spare things will be, it's not. So the first the human being must have a body. If it's not have a body, it cannot be human being. Angels also, but they are still not. So creatures or whatever, sentient beings, they have body. Second, every one of us, we have feeling. Sometimes we like, sometimes we don't like, sometimes we're neutral. We have this feeling. Every human being or every creature, let's say we talk about human being, have memory. Okay? We remember, we have perception. I remember the dog, he was very big. So this is some kind of perception. We call it sanya. Okay? And then we have anger, worry, doubt. We have things that motivate us. This we call sankara. Okay? Or volition. And then we have consciousness. Because my eyes open, but sometimes I don't see. Sometimes I don't pay attention. Sometimes people call me, but I don't pay attention. It means I have hearing consciousness, seeing consciousness, smelling consciousness. I have 5 consciousness, also thinking consciousness. Okay? I pay attention, then, oh, it means I receive the information. So it means the consciousness, the hearing consciousness can to be seeing consciousness, smelling consciousness, tasting consciousness. It means I got the information of these sense thoughts. So every human being or creatures or whatever have these 5 elements. This is we call kanda. Pancha it means 5. Kanda it means aggregate. It's functional of 5 elements. They must work together, okay? So they influence on each other very fast. Cause and effect, cause and effect. There is body of them and mind, okay? There's body and mind. And working very, very fast. So what the Buddha say, the Buddha go with the monk and explaining first about the body. The body is non-self. Why? Because I cannot tell him, be like this, don't be like this, okay? I cannot control him. Because I cannot control him, it means he's non-self. And then the Buddha continued. The next, he say, what about the feeling? Also the feeling. I cannot control the feeling. I cannot tell the feeling, don't be like this, be like this, okay? And also, if the body was, the feeling was myself, he would not put himself into suffering. He don't make a bad feeling, okay? So this is the Buddha. In this way, the Buddha say, I cannot say this is a self, okay? And the Buddha again, he say, if it's a self, it means you can control it. In this way, the Buddha called anatta. Anatta means I cannot control this and this element. In this case, in this explanation, because the anatta is very deep meaning. But in this case, the Buddha explained, if my slave was my slave, he must obey to me. But I cannot, it's funny to tell that he's my slave if he never listen to me. What kind of slave you have? You are joking to yourself. What, you make a joke with yourself? You call him your slave, but he never listen to you. But in the same way, can you control your body 100%? Can you control your feeling? Can you control, any one of you can control your memory? Can you control your volition? Not to be angry, not to be worried, not to be, okay? Can you control your consciousness? To pay attention exactly. Never, when you put a fire on to make some cooking and don't burn the food, okay? Sometimes, maybe people calling you, sometimes you don't pay attention or whatever, huh? So which means the Buddha said in this part of the sutta, the Buddha going aggregate by aggregate, yeah, and asking the same questions. Is the body self? If it's a self, why he should put himself in suffering? And you cannot tell him to be like this, to be like that. And then feeling, the same question. And the third, talk about the sanya, the memory, and then sankara, and then the consciousness. So this is the first, let's say, second part of the sutta. The Buddha going one by one, okay, and asking the same questions. Actually, he's not asking them questions. He gives them, he explains them. Okay, here he explaining. But now we are coming to the second part. The second part is actually in the page 71. Okay, page 51, 71, and then the Buddha he give explanation with questions, and then he asked the question. He asked the monk. is the body is permanent or impermanent? Okay, he asked them. So they say, yeah, the body changing. Of course, the body changing. Became old, became sick, became, okay? It's obvious. So now the Buddha continues, okay? He say, is things, anything. The Buddha again starting with the body. He will go aggregate by aggregate. But he's starting first questions about the monk. You see, he's teaching by question in this moment. Because before he just explained about the anatta, what the meaning. But now he continue teaching, but with the questioning. Okay? Something like they're starting to get involved with the conversation. So he asked them, is the body changing or not changing? Is the body impermanent, permanent or impermanent? So they must say, okay, it's impermanent, it's changing. We became old, we became sick, we're moving, we're walking, sitting, sometimes whatever, okay? So, yeah. And then he asked the same question. So if something is impermanent, if something intend to change, he have suffering or not suffering? So how come to say yes or no? Why to say that body changing, suffering? Because you think that suppose body is happy, okay? Suppose I'm very good, I'm healthy, I'm strong. But what I say, if body change, it means that today I'm happy, but tomorrow maybe I'm not happy because it's not change, okay? If today I'm on the top of the mountain and I say, no, the mountain changing, which means that tomorrow I will be down. So it must be suffering, okay? This is the evidence of this suffering. Same things. So this is one point of view of idea that why things, if they change, they are actually suffering. Okay? Because if today, suppose happy, but I say change, they cannot be all the time happy, 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 because I just now said that it's change. So it means sometime it will not be happy. Okay. So we have sometimes part is happy, sometimes not happy. So in the evidence, it's unhappy is there also, okay? Because 50-50 support. So still, the 50 is still unhappy. But another thing, if something change, it means it's not guaranteed. I cannot keep it. And we want the good time to stay. Yeah? We have time, good time to say, good, I'm healthy, but I want to keep the healthy. And this is called the painful of the viparinama. This is called viparinama. This is why the Buddha says viparinama, you see, yang kinchit dukam, viparinama damam. It means the suffering which is created because things changing. Why the body change? What the body says? First we say if it's also, we can say why the body happy. So we say 50-50. So if 50% happy, 50% must be changed. It's dukkha. This is already one thing, the idea of dukkha, why the changing must be. But not only this, because we like that good things will continue. Okay, we don't like that vacation will finish for us. Nobody wants. Even we have good work, suddenly something changed. We have to they take out from the work. Even I still know that I can find another work, but nobody wants to change. Now I want to go to look for another work. It's too difficult for me to struggle with changing the weather, changing how to prepare myself again. So the idea that things is going to change for us. We like to be secure. We like to be that the things will continue the same. We don't know to trouble, too much trouble ourselves, up, down, up, down. So anything that's changing in our life creates a suffering. Okay? So the Buddha say, he asked the monk, is anything with changing, it's suffering or happiness? So the monk must say it's suffering. Okay? See, this is the logic behind it. Why things change must answer suffering. The answer, okay, cannot be happy. And then the Buddha asking if something is changing and something is suffering, can be self. But now the Buddha make it more deep. Because why make it more deep? we say like this. You don't say if body changing and suffering is anatta or atta. He asking something like this. Can you say that this is my body? You see, the Buddha is going to talk about the self with three aspects. Before I talk with you about the idea that the Buddha said, because you cannot control it, so that's why you call it anatta. Okay? But now the Buddha go with the idea of anatta a little bit more deep. He say that if the body is changing, and if the body have the intent to suffering, can you say that the body is mine? What does mean the body is mine? We talk about the body on the subject of, if we talk about cleaning of the body, with the craving. What mean craving? In the same way that I can say this glass is mine, the cellular phone is mine. We talk about this, that I have the item which belong to me. Okay? This is the idea that I say like a slave. That is, the slave is my slave, is belonging to me. Okay? This is the idea of this is mine. Okay? Which is attachment to the body, but in the craving way. I want it, I'm owning it. This is, I'm the owner of these things. The end is belong to me. Okay? I'm the owner of the end. You see, it's very, very important. I try to explain it very, very clear, the meaning. It means there is item and it belongs to me. I'm the owner of it. Okay? So this is one point of view that the Buddha talking about the anatta. Okay? But if it's doing what he wants, how can I say that I'm owning it? Okay, so in this way, I cannot say this is mine, belong to me. Okay, so this is the first point of view that the Buddha is talking. Okay, in Pali, the meaning is etame esu. Okay, me esu, it belongs to me. Okay, this is mine. Now he continue. He continue to another question. Aham asami. What is that? Aham asami? It's another point of view about the atta, about the self. He say, I am this. This is another question. The first one he asked, this is belong to me. Okay. The end is belong to me. This is the first question. Now we ask another question. The end is I am this. And this is clinging to the end or to the body on the point of view of the conceit, the ego. Okay? We call in Pali, we say mana. This is another, this is very, very deep. This is only our hand will cut it. I'm strong man. Okay? I'm wise. You see, I'm putting myself in the characteristics. Okay? I'm beautiful. I'm healthy. There is someone inside me which is fixed, never change. And this, what I'm talking, it's all his characteristics. That's why I can be wise, and I'm more wise than you. I am putting myself in the level because my characteristics can be in the level. Better than you, less than you, equal to you. But actually, this is just a 5 elements changing all the time, every moment changing. There is no already I there. There's no someone there. But in our perceptions, we have I am there, something is very, very fixed inside me, and everything here is characteristics. I'm Ofer, Phra Ofer, okay? This is one fixed Phra Ofer since he born. My parents give me a name, already I became Phra Ofer. You see something, but this is actually just the process of changing, body and mind changing all the time. But inside me, I have the feeling which have someone there which have a lot of characteristics. Also good, also bad. Because I'm so bad person. I'm all the time giving trouble to people. Okay? I have so beautiful eyes. You see, I have a lot of characteristics. This offer, this person, this personality. And because I have special level, and you also have special level. Because if I'm offer and you Mr. X, so now powerful can say that is better than the other person or equal to the other person or maybe less than other person. Okay, and this is now I'm holding the self with conceit, with the ego. Okay, that's why I also can compare my ego to your ego. I say I'm very beautiful boy or whatever. There is identity inside, which is fixed identity. And I can measure this identity in the good and bad. I hope that you can understand me. It's very, very delicate. It's very, very fine. Because what these things of conceit, only enlightened person will cut. We cannot see that we are actually process of body and mind which changing. There is identity there. There is a lot of characteristics to this. Okay, and it's something fixed that just in the time, of course, changing. I'm in the characteristics. I'm very happy person, optimistic or whatever I have. But also I can have very maybe my characteristics is I have a lot of depression, and normally I'm very sad person. And you see, we are talking like this all day long. But still, we cannot see that it's just a process. There is not really some identity that something happened to him, experience something to him with characteristics, some kind of person. So this is actually the second question, the second thing that the Buddha said, you cannot say that this is, I am this. Okay, and again, I would say in Pali, aham asami. This is the meaning of the word aham asami. It's different from to say mam hesu. Mam hesu, this is my. Before I talk about self, that the end belong to me. Now I talk about the offer is there, and he have very many kind of characteristics, which is good, bad, beautiful, not beautiful. Okay, and he can compare to another identity that stay there. Good. So this is now the second, and now coming the third level, because it continue. Eso me ata. This is another question. He said, or another point. He said, you cannot say eso e ata. It's mean eso me ata. And what is mean eso me ata? This is myself. I say ata, it's a self. Okay. This is myself. And this is another clinging to the body, another holding the body. In this case, we are talking just about the body, okay? Later, we talk about the other aggregator in the same way, in the same equal way. But in this way, how I holding with a wrong view. Why mean wrong view? This is in Pali, we call Sakaya Ditti. I'm holding the body with the wrong Ditti, okay? Kaya is the body. Ditti, wrong view about how I holding my body in the way that I'm thinking that this body is actually me. Okay? You know, there is I don't know what his name, this philosopher, he say, I'm thinking this is why I'm alive, I'm exist. It means he take the thinking as the I. You see, this is the way that he perceive it. He perceive it with the wrong view, actually, according to Buddhism, because this thinking is just a process, mental process that is changing. It doesn't belong to anyone. Okay? We think that we are something that exists forever, and we are controlling on everything. We are experiencing. In this case, I am offer experiencing things in my life. For example, I can say, I was like this in the past. I will be in the future like this. I will. I'm okay. I'm now in this way. So I'm experiencing this and this. Yeah? I'm the one that's suffering. And you see, this is the difference between the other two point of view. The other one, it was conceit. It means I'm beautiful. Now I'm talking about all me and all my life which I experience. For example, I can say in this way that I was studying when I was young. I was studying in the school. Then now I became older. I am studying in the college. In the future, I have a plan to I will study in the university. So this is different than I say I have beautiful eyes. Okay, this is okay. I'm a beautiful person. It's another point of view about the self, how to look about the self. This is me. It's all my experience in my life. Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling now very happy. Oh, if I will don't have the pain, I will be very happy. And I hope you can understand me, because actually you see I'm going and I'm putting all this experience as someone which experiencing it. But actually it's just a body and mind which changing. There is no one really that experience. And this is very, very difficult to understand it. When you practice vipassana, you will experience it inside. Okay, it's not something that I'm explaining you this to just to explain the sutta, but these things is not to experience. It's not about learning. It's about either you understand it by insight, either you just get the idea about it. When people say I'm so sad, okay, but this is the expression that they feel inside, that there is someone which feeling sad or experiences sad. Also, if we talk about the body, we say I'm bending, okay, I'm laying, I'm sitting. So now it's another, like I said, the Buddha said that we cannot say that this is atta, because if it was really atta, so you don't experience the suffering. Nobody wants to suffer, and also it will not change. Okay, and then the Buddha say the atta here or anatta here in the 3 point of view. I told you one is attachment to the body as my. The second, the attachment of body is me, and another one is the body that is actually the experiencing of the one. Okay, so it's 3 ways. This is myself. This I am this. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I am this, and the other one, this is belong to me. So this is actually the second or the third part on the sutta. And then the Buddha continued in the same way to talk about the feeling. He explained the same things about the feeling, about the memory, perceptions, about the volition, the anger, worry, doubt, loving kindness, compassion, okay, the volition. Sankara, we call it, and the consciousness. I just want to give you an example. I'm going to tell some story about myself with a 3 sentence. And I hope that you can understand the difference. I found the pen with my good eyes because I am very good, concentrated person, even better than others. Actually, this is 3 sentences. Everyone is showing different point of view. I found the pen. This is the same like the third way of point of view. It means my body and mind This is the one that makes the actions. It means I am presenting by my body and mind. With my good eyes. It means now I'm talking about my eyes as an element. This belongs to me. Okay, as a tool that I'm owning it as another tool. Okay, and then I say, because I'm very well concentrated person. So now I'm talking about myself as a someone, identity with characteristics, which is conceived. I'm even better than other people. Now I can say that I'm even better than other people. So this is, I'm measuring myself, okay? Yeah. So this is, you see, three different sentences in different point of view about the same I. But I'm talking about the I in different point of view. So this is the third part of the sutta. And then the Buddha, he put conclusion. Okay, continue. Now we are coming to, if you want to look about, okay, this is in the page 42, 72. Yeah. Now we are coming to, thus monk, anybody whatsoever. Okay. In the past, in the future. Okay. In the present. Yeah, so the Buddha said like this to the monk. He come into the conclusion. He don't ask any more questions. He just give explanation about the conclusion about what he teach them till now. He says, so it means that anybody in the past, in the future, in the present, if it's gross, it's a big one, okay? It's a subtle, maybe small or fine, okay? It's inside us. It's outside us. What does mean inside us? For example, I have livers, okay? I have end, I have blood, whatever. This is body which is inside me. But I have outside me also, okay? Like my pen, like a house or whatever, or other people. Inside us, outside us. If it's big, if it's important or not important, okay? Big or small. If it's nearby us, if it's far from us, we have to understand it. Actually, it's not I. It's not mine. Okay, the Buddha said, continue the same way. He said, this is not mine. Okay, I say mine. It's not belong to me. Nobody will say, this is my pen, this is my land. And then we kill each other because of this is my land. Actually, this land was so long time ago, but we are killing each other because of this land. And I don't give to anyone to come to the house, and I don't give anyone the food. So we are crawling and killing each other, whatever we do, because it's my, okay? So anything that is far or near, big or small, whatever, talking again about body, you cannot say that this is mine. You cannot say that I'm this, okay? You cannot say this is myself. In the same way the Buddha said about the feeling, about the memory, about the volition, okay, about the consciousness. He said it doesn't matter what you can see someone suffering, it's not belong to him. Actually, it's just showing suffering. You see someone that is whatever sick, you don't sick. It's just the process of the body. We take it personal, okay? We see whatever. So also physically, also mentally, it's just a process, changing very, very fast. But normally we take it to ourselves as a self. And this has created a lot of suffering. And then the Buddha finishing the sutta with saying to the monk that if the monk will understand it, that the body is not belong to him, that the feeling is not belong to him, and it's just changing with creating a lot of suffering inside them, we don't have attachment. Normally we want to be so beautiful, we want to be very strong, we want to be that or that, whatever. But the Buddha said that if you understand that the body is just changing by itself and you cannot control it, okay? And it's also bringing a lot of suffering. You will not have the clinging into it. You don't have attachment to it. If you don't have attachment to it, yeah, you will have, you will get the idea of letting go, the detachment. Okay, in the moment that you will have a detachment or letting go, you will cut the craving. In the moment that you cut the craving, you will be free from ignorance. And this is the process of enlightened person. That you letting go, releasing the attachment. So it means all this craving, all this kind of attachment, you letting go to it. And this is Nirodha, Arahant. So we say if the person which is really will understand it with the wisdom, he will let go till Arahant. And what happened in this moment? That these 5 friends, which was Sotapan, or monks, which was Sotapan, when the Buddha finished the talk, they boom, cleaned the mind, and they will became Arahant by listening to this idea. They understand about the non-self, that actually we attach to ourselves too much, but it's just the process of body and mind. So this is the end of the Anatta-lakkhaṇa-sutta. I hope that we don't get confused or something, but it's a little bit deep. I try to explain it more deep. Normally we touch it here and there, we explain it here and there, but here I try to explain it in different point of view and more deep about how Buddha explained it. Anyone have questions?
Ajarn,
Yeah.
do you have the name of the 5 ascetics?
Somehow I cannot hear you well.
You don't hear me?
I hear you, but very, very.
Now you hear me?
I mean, I have to guess.
I think it's with Ofer because I hear you clear, Martin.
Ah, okay. So you can ask him if he has the names of the 5 ascetics still. If not, don't worry.
Ofer, do you hear me?
Same things. I think.
Okay.
Maybe, one moment. Now.
Ajarn, you hear me?
We don't hear you.
No. No worries.
The plug is not. My plug is not.
No worries. It wasn't important anyway.
You try to talk again.
You hear me?
Martin, you talk?
Yes, but you don't hear me.
I try now.
Ajarn?
Yeah. Now you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So we don't use the microphone. Maybe. Yeah. Please.
You mentioned the 5 ascetics.
Yeah.
Kundanya.
Yeah, Kundanya was the eldest. He was young monk when the Buddha just the time when in the time when the Buddha, the birth time of the Buddha, it was many ascetic or rich people. They used to bring ascetics which can see the future of the babies, and they like fortune tellers. So Kundanya was the one young ascetic at that time. So he was one of these 5 monks that joined to the Buddha. And the reason that he joined to the Buddha is because he knew that Buddha should be Buddha. I mean, Siddhartha Gautama, when he left home, he should be Buddha. They disappoint from Siddhartha Gautama in certain times because before he get enlightened, they was practicing very strong ascetics. They was giving a lot of suffering to the body. Okay, this is actually what means ascetics. It means after this, Buddha was not ascetic anymore. He was not anymore making suffering to his body. He became bhikkhu, but not ascetic anymore. He changed. But in this moment that he was ascetic, he was bringing the body to extreme. And this was when there was Uruvela, nearby Gaya. And certain time, the Buddha find out that Siddhartha Gautama he find out that he should go into middle way. So he go and wash himself and start to eat. And that's why these 5 friends, they left him. They keep him alone. They say he give up. He want to go back to his home. It means that we was mistaking about him because he want to be now again king. So that's why they left him. And then when the Buddha he get enlightened under the tree in Uruvela, actually in Bodh Gaya, I said it's 7 weeks he stayed there, and 1 week he was walking to meet these 5 friends because he knew that they are ready to understand the Dharma. So he making the effort, he walking all the way till he come to Saranath. They stay in Saranath, in the place where he met them, when I just didn't mention now. So he convinced them that he get enlightened, and then he give them these talks till they get enlightened. So the eldest from them was, like I said, he was Kundanya. And that's why the Buddha, after the Dhammatalk finished, the Buddha said Kundanya. It means Kundanya really understand. And the next one was Bappa. Okay, Bappa was the second one in the age. The third one, his name was Badaya. Okay, he was the third one in the age. And then Mahanama.
How you say? What's this?
Again?
Say again?
Mahanama. Maha, it means M-A-H-A-N-A-M-A.
Okay, thank you, Ajarn.
And Asaji. So again, I say Kundanya, Bappa, V-A-P-P-A, Badaya, it's B-H-A-D-D-I-Y-A, and Mahanama, it's M-A-H-A. On the top of the second A, you have to put like a line, minus, it means Maha, okay? It's the A, it's like a double A, okay? Maha, it's a great, the meaning is great. Nama, okay? Nama, it's a name, okay? But Mahanama is his name, and then Asaji. Asaji, A-S-S-A-J-I.
Thank you. Thank you, Ajarn. Thank you, Carmen, also.
Googled it for the words, how to write it.
Good. Thank you.
Question? You see, the word of anatta, there is a different meaning. So how much you go, it's more deep. You have there, like I said, the first level, it's Sakaya Ditti, Sotapan is cutting already. Sakaya Ditti, it's mean Ditti, it's view, okay? View, Saka, it means Kaya, it's body. So it means wrong view about the self. In this case, it's talking about the body, how we receive our body. But so it's different interpretation. Say Sakaya Ditti, it can be a wrong view about the self, about any kind of element in our 5 aggregate. Okay, so it depends how you interpret it. So you can say Sakaya Ditti, it's wrong view about self totally. Okay, but actually in the words in Sakaya Ditti, it's mean wrong view about how you look at the body, because the word Kaya is there. Kaya is in body. But it depends how you interpret it, how you explain it.
Ajarn?
This is Sotapan will cut already. So they identified, this is my end, okay? I am the end. And the end is myself, okay? Some people believe there is a self. Every cell, there is a self inside. But Sotapan will cut it. He said there's just a material changing all the time. But still there is I inside, which some is dancing with the body. The self inside is dancing with the body. That the body is belong to him, the body is not belong to him. He is the body, he is not the body. But he exists inside. Still, Ofer is still sitting here. He's not, yeah, of course, this is not my body, it's just a process. I'm not the thinking is not me. But there is me inside. And this is the conceit that only Ajarn can. Okay, this is the second point of view that the Buddha talked about. Yeah, please, Martin, you wanted to ask.
So you said Sakya, the Kaya is the body, and Ditti wrong view. What is the Sa at the beginning?
I cannot remember exactly. I cannot remember exactly. I can check and I can tell you.
Thank you, Ajarn.
How to break this Sakaya Ditti, to have it wrong view.
Mm.
The word Kaya, it means body, and Ditti, view, okay? But I cannot remember how it's come to be a wrong view about the Sa. I don't remember the word, the meaning. But can be checked easy.
Thank you, Ajarn.
Please, anyone else? You see, so one sutta so deep can be so difficult to understand. But the most, why these monks, they became enlightened, not because the Buddha explained them, and not because they was hearing, because they're progressing on the mind, they have the paramita, they have the perfections from so many reincarnations, so they can understand it, okay, by insight. The change comes through insight, not by explaining. This is not something with the university. People can study it all the life in the university. They will not get anything. But people will practice. They just make right goes down, left goes down, or heel uplifting and rising, falling. They pay attention to the four foundation of mindfulness. They look. They practice the satipatthana, the four foundation: body, feeling, mind, object, with mindfulness. Then they will understand. Then the insight will come. Because these 5 monks, they were so progressive already. So that's why they can understand it with just talk. They just was ready to cook. But you see that still they have to practice before. The Buddha noticed they will not be able, if I would teach them before they will practice, they will not understand. So they have to practice first, and then I will give them the talk. Then they will understand. That's why the Buddha let them practice first to prepare them to Sotapanna. And then he knew now they are ready to listen to the Dhammatalk. So must do the Sila Samadhi Panya, go in the hateful path, must develop with the practice. Otherwise, it's just talk. Good. So one more time, anyone want to ask something? If no, so we pay respect to the Buddha. Avaham sama samputo pakava otan pakavantam abhivatemi sawakato pakavata dhamman namasam supatipanno pakavato sawaka sanko sankam namam. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you, Ajarn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Asha, take care. Huh?
Thank you, Martin. Thank you.
Good luck, Asha.
Thank you.